Back in 1978, I worked for a company called Cray Research. It made what was at the time the world's fastest computer, the Cray-1. I thought it'd be interesting to compare the Cray-1 with the latest model of iPhone, the iPhone13. First, the price. In 1978, a typical Cray-1 sold for about $8 million. That's the equivalent of $38 million today. By contrast, a high-end iPhone 13 sells for about $1,000, or 38,000 times less. The Cray-1 weighed 5.5 tons, consumed 115 kilowatts of power, and came with its own Freon refrigeration system to keep the circuitry cool. The iPhone 13 weighs 6 ounces, and runs for up to 20 hours on a single charge of a lithium-ion battery the size of a credit card. As far as memory goes, the Cray-1 had 160 megabytes, or 160 million bytes. The iPhone 13 comes with as much as 512 gigabytes, or 512 billion bytes, which is about 60,000 times as much. And finally, processing speed. The Cray-1 maxed out at about 160 million calculations, or floating point operations as they're called, per second. The iPhone 13 is capable of 15.8 trillion calculations per second, or 100,000 times as much. We don't think of the smartphone in our hand as being a supercomputer. But in terms of the computers that were around in the late 1970s, or even the early 1990s for that matter, it truly is. In fact, any smartphone today transported back 44 years to 1978 would have seemed almost magical in its powers. 100,000 times faster than any other computer around, with 60,000 times more memory, and yet capable of slipping into your pocket. Something to think about next time you send a text or scroll through the latest posts on Facebook or Instagram.